What Really Happened to Hal Holbrook? Star in It Takes a Thief. Hal Holbrook was born Harold Rowe Holbrook Jr. on February 17, 1925 in Cleveland, Ohio, U.S. His mother, Aileen, was a vaudeville dancer. His parents, Harold Sr. and Aileen, abandoned young Holbrook when he was 2 years old. Holbrook and his two sisters grew up with their paternal grandparents. Holbrook graduated from the Culver Military Academy. Thereafter, he attended Denison University in Ohio, where he studied theater. While studying there, he was required to work on a project on the author Mark Twain. The author's works had influenced him a lot and had inspired him to create his one-man show, a series of performances known as Mark Twain Tonight. Holbrook served in the United States Army during World War II. He was stationed in Newfoundland as an engineer. While in the Army, Holbrook was active in theater and performed in plays such as Madame Precious. Marriage life. Holbrook has been married 3 times and has 3 children. He married a Newfoundlander, Ruby Elaine Johnston, in 1945, and they had 2 children. They divorced in 1965. In 1966, he married Carol Eve Rawson. They had 1 child and they divorced in 1983. Holbrook and Carter at the 41st Primetime Emmy Awards, 1990. Holbrook married actress and singer Dixie Carter in 1984 and the couple remained married until Carter's death from endometrial cancer on April 10, 2010. Acting career. Holbrook. In Holbrook's first solo performance as Twain was at Lock Haven State Teachers College in Pennsylvania in 1954. Ed Sullivan saw him and gave Holbrook his first national exposure on The Ed Sullivan Show on February 12, 1956. Holbrook was also a member of the Valley Players, a summer stock theater company based in Holyoke, Massachusetts, which performed at Mountain Park Casino Playhouse at Mountain Park. He joined the Lamps in 1955, where he began developing his one-man show. He was a member of the cast for several years and performed Mark Twain Tonight as the 1957 season opener. In 1959, Holbrook first played the role off-Broadway. Columbia Records recorded an LP of excerpts from the show. Holbrook performed in a special production for the 1964-1965 New York World's Fair for the Bell Telephone Pavilion. Joe Mielziner created an innovative audiovisual ride experience and used Holbrook's acting talents on 65 different action screens for the ride of communications with the movie itself known as From Drumbeats to Telstar. In 1967, Mark Twain Tonight was presented on television by CBS and Xerox, and Holbrook received an Emmy for his performance. Holbrook's Twain first played on Broadway in 1966. And again in 1977 and 2005. Holbrook was 80 years old during his most recent Broadway run, older than the character he was portraying. Holbrook won a Tony Award for the performance in 1966. Until Holbrook retired in 2017, aged 92, Mark Twain Tonight toured the country, which amounted to over about 2,100 performances. In 1964, Holbrook played the role of the Major in the original production of Arthur Miller's Incident at Vichy. In 1968, he was one of the replacements for Richard Kiley in the original Broadway production of Man of La Mancha, although he had limited singing ability. In 1966, Holbrook starred opposite Shirley Booth in the acclaimed CBS Playhouse production of The Glass Menagerie. Holbrook co-starred with Martin Sheen in the controversial and acclaimed 1972 television film That Certain Summer. In 1973, Holbrook appeared as Lieutenant Neil Briggs, the boss and rival of Detective Dirty Harry Callahan in Magnum Force, an obsessively neat and prim fanatic who supports the obliteration of San Francisco's criminals and who is the leader of a rogue group of vigilante officers. In 1976, Holbrook won acclaim for his portrayal of Abraham Lincoln in a series of television specials based on Carl Sandburg's acclaimed biography. He won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for the 1970 series The Bold Ones, The Senator. In 1979, he starred with Catherine Ross, Barry Bostwick, and Richard Anderson in the made-for-TV movie Murder by Natural Causes. Holbrook also had a major role on the sitcom Evening Shade throughout its entire run. Early in his career, Holbrook worked on stage and in a television soap opera, The Brighter Day. He is also famous for his role as the enigmatic Deep Throat in the film All the President's Men. Holbrook was the narrator on the Ken Burns documentary Lewis and Clark: The Journey of the Corps of Discovery in 1997. From 1986 to 1989, Holbrook had a recurring role as Reese Watson on Designing Women, opposite his wife Dixie Carter. For a short period between 1988 and 1990, Holbrook directed 4 episodes of the series. In 1999, Holbrook was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame. In 2000, Holbrook appeared in Men of Honor, where he portrayed a racist and hypocritical officer who endlessly tries to fail an African-American diver trainee. Holbrook played the role of Albie Duncan, an endearingly curmudgeonly Assistant Secretary of State with a fondness for Schweppes Bitter Lemon, in 2 episodes of The West Wing. In 2003, President George W. Bush honored Holbrook with a National Humanities Medal for charming audiences with the wit and wisdom of Mark Twain, as Twain's outlook never fails to give Holbrook a good show to put on. In 2007, he appeared in Sean Penn's critically acclaimed film Into the Wild and received an Oscar nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role at the 80th Academy Awards, and at age 82, he is the oldest nominee in Academy Award history in the Best Supporting Actor category. The Seventh Day series, which aired on Hope Channel on April 6, 2007, was hosted by Holbrook. On December 20, 2007, Holbrook was nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award for his work in the film. In late August through mid-September 2007, he starred as the narrator in the Hartford stage production of Thornton Wilder's Our Town, a role he had once played on television. Holbrook appeared with wife Dixie Carter in That Evening Sun, filmed in East Tennessee in the summer of 2008. That Evening Sun premiered in March 2009 at South by Southwest, where it received the Audience Award for Narrative Feature and a special jury prize for ensemble cast. That Evening Sun also was screened at the 2009 Nashville Film Festival, where Holbrook was honored with a special Lifetime Achievement Award, and the film itself received another Audience Award. Holbrook appeared as a featured guest star in a 2006 episode of the HBO series The Sopranos and the NCIS episode Escaped. On April 22, 2010, Holbrook signed on to portray Katie Seagal's character's father on the FX original series Sons of Anarchy for a 4-episode arc in their 3rd season, as well as appearing in an additional 5th episode in the final season. He also had a multiple-episode arc on The Event, an American television series on NBC, appearing in the 2010-2011 season. In 2011, Holbrook appeared in Water for Elephants. In 2012, Steven Spielberg cast Holbrook to play Francis Preston Blair in Lincoln. His recent films are Gus Van Sant's Promised Land 2012, the animated film Planes, Fire and Rescue 2014, and the minor role as Whizzer in the drama film Blackway 2016. In 2014, Holbrook was the subject of Scott Teem's documentary Holbrook Twain, an American Odyssey depicting Holbrook's long-lasting career as portraying Twain. It was premiered at the Los Angeles Film Festival that same year. In 2016, Holbrook was cast as Red Hudmore and appeared in the final season of Bones on January 17, 2017. On March 23, 2017, aged 92, he appeared on an episode on Grey's Anatomy playing a retired thoracic surgeon whose wife is a patient, and on Hawaii Five-0 later in the year. In September 2017, after 6 decades of playing the role of Mark Twain, Holbrook announced his retirement from the one-man show Mark Twain Tonight. Holbrook indicated that he would like to continue working on movies and television. Thank you for listening to the story about the life of Hal Holbrook.